Hi Professor or TA or whoever will be reviewing this video. After completing this course, I feel like my listening skills have improved differently. When it comes to listening, I can hear it in a different angle rather than something that is considered a lecture or a rant. I have learned to listen better by hearing the information first before forming an opinion. Whenever I used to listen to people, I am always in my own mind and I tend to sidetrack myself and not listen to the whole conversation at times. So, with this course, it made me open my eyes to see why I react to it sometimes, or in improving in how to take information better than I did before. There were three skills that really stood out to me and that I can take from this course and apply it to my everyday life. The first one is mindfulness. I believe this was our second week reading about self-concept. The way I could be mindful in my life is to be in the moment. I tend to always rush things and have a set schedule or task to do the following minute or hour. But if I were to apply to be mindful, especially in conversations, I would need to slow down, breathe, and redirect myself and pay attention with my environment. Sometimes it is better for me to focus on one thing than to think of other things, especially when there's one conversation going on right in front of me. One example could be the times I would talk to my mom. I tend to only think about myself and block her off, but what I improved on is being mindful to her conversation. I took the time to just listen and hear her rant or about her problems at work because she really needed someone to just listen. The second skill I would apply in my life is active listening. Active listening was basically my main vocabulary throughout this course, but it helped me focus more on conversations so that I can understand it better and detailed. What helped me improve more on with active listening is paraphrasing the speaker, so I would acknowledge their story and capture the content. When it came to conversations I did not really understand, I tend to just repeat everything back and made them believe I knew what they were talking about. So instead of saying the same words again, I basically just reworded the conversation with a follow-up question. An example is when my boss talks to me about the problems with the company, but it does not pertain to our department. I simply would just paraphrase words to sound more assertive to the conversation. Lastly, the third skill I would apply in my life is nonverbal communication. In this section, it was to focus on listening to help. I believe this particular skill helped me identify nonverbal communication cues better than I have before. I think I can apply this to my everyday life for people who require my help or advice. Some of the cues include visual, vocal, and time. These were the three main cues that kept me being active and engaging in a conversation for someone in need. Visually, I learned that their body language can tell how they really feel. Vocally, the tone of their voice is what I can feel if they are angry or upset. As for time, it depends when they have a conversation early in the morning, late at night, but most importantly, I, as the helper, would want to be on time whenever they need my help. One example is like my late night talks with my sister. She would usually come to talk to me before she would need to confront a situation. I can either tell she is worried or happy on how she tells her story, but mostly if she stands up or has to put effort in crossing her arms is when I know she's in a dilemma. I looked back at my introduction video and I stated I want to get all straight A's in my 3 classes. So far, I believe it will come true because this is the last semester I will be taking Ohlone classes. I believe I met my goals academically for this semester and for this school, and I am very proud of it. For this class, I believe I met my goal by becoming more of an active listener, not just because we had to go through some videos and discuss it for our assignments, but hearing my classmates' stories and their point of view of the lesson really opened my eyes and to look at more possibilities than just my point of view. If I were to take this class again, the only thing I would do different is to actually try the interview assignment. I understand why it had to be taken out due to limited resources and our state lockdown, but I think this would have been an interesting assignment to tackle on. If I were to take this course again, I'm not sure what I would improve on in the class. I believe everything was straightforward and the difficulty was just right for a 1-unit class. I would prefer this class to stay online again because it is an easier access, at least for me, to give video responses as an outlet to talk about the assignment or presentation. What I liked about this course was that it only took half a semester to complete. Also, there was not a quiz or test every week. The only thing I did not like about the course is how many people did the responses last minute. I know I did it last minute on the day of, but I think if you were to require to have a video response due on Saturday or Friday, it would give us time to respond by Sunday for the due date. Even though some of the assignments require to evaluate what we have done throughout the week, then it was an exception. The one tip I would give future students taking this class is to get the video discussions done ahead of time. There were times when video uploads were running slow, so just be aware of it. Some last thoughts. Thank you for your time in creating this class. I believe I was more engaging in this class than any in-person class, and I really appreciate it. A requirement to have at least a video response helped me take out the fear of talking to people more. So thank you, Professor and TA, for making the semester smooth and straightforward.